The Spirit of God is grieved that our relationship with Britain, or at least our attempt to build a relationship with Britain according to the way of the Lord, is not going the right way. That is because King Charles is keeping on listening to the old white Rhodesians who still want to treat black Zimbabweans today as they treated black Zimbabweans in medieval times. You see, they still see us as slaves. That is why they give us these manual labor jobs in the United Kingdom. They're not calling us to the United Kingdom to become CEOs of companies, or to lead research institutions, or to start global firms based in London as Zimbabweans. No, they're calling us for the jobs that they don't want, the jobs that, uh, the job openings that happened after Brexit, after the Gypsies and the Eastern Europeans left. So it's an opening for their poor plantations in Africa, black Zimbabweans. So they view us as plantations. However, the Lord views us as equal human beings. And also we, in as much as this ministry, my ministry in this channel, has been laid on a foundation of taking Zimbabwe to the global west. We're still there. Just because we have problems with Britain doesn't mean that we don't want Zimbabwe to join the free world, the Western world. However, since the Lord is showing me that King Charles and his friends, they in the palace, they do not view black people that way. Okay, they do not want to allow them to join this club of elite white countries, if I may put it that way. So it is too soon for them. Perhaps these old guys are not ready to let go of their past prejudices. Perhaps God needs new leadership, even in the palace itself. Only is God. Only is the Lord. Perhaps God is indicating that a new leadership is needed. Young people. Perhaps it is King, what is his name? King Shazan, uh, Prince Harry. Perhaps King Harry will be willing to have black people, a black country succeeding. I don't think Charles is right. I think Charles is very old. He belongs to the old guys who grew up in the 60s and 70s disrespecting black folks. So they don't envision a time whereby I think this I think I am way too ahead of Charles at that time. He was not waiting for this. He's waiting for African politicians who are dictators, African politicians who are stealing money from their countries and banking in the city of London, so that the financial system of the United Kingdom is empowered through illicit flows of capital from poor countries like Africa. He is not ready to have a self-empowered, self-driven, motivated country run by young people like Zimbabwe, as I am going to do in Zimbabwe. So perhaps the complementing leadership in the British economy will have to be maybe King Harry. What is his name? Why is his name running away from me? King Charles's son. What's his name? His name, I forgot his name now. You see, I've got a problem of forgetting simple names. This is a simple thing. That guy is popular. I've always known him all my life. But now I want to make a video about him. I forgot his name. Princess Diana's son. Yeah, that one. You know him. Okay, I forgot his name. Perhaps it is him who is going to bring about a better change to the British fortunes. Because I see King Charles leading the kingdom of Britain down. Already God is angry with me because he refused me. That's what the Holy Spirit tells me. I never spoke to Charles, but that's what the Lord is telling me. That son, the British assess you, they look at your videos, they don't like you, they don't want you, they want something else. And I've been wondering, what is it that they want? I realize what they want is an African leader to take over from Idim Nangako, who's just gonna be like Idim Nangako. Do you understand? Who will be destroying the people, kill the economy, make everything a mess, and then have these black people as always second-class citizens. below whites, always going to UK to complain about their government in Harare. They don't want a strong Zimbabwean black-led government. It cannot. It it doesn't go well with their white identity. It's something that is ingrained within their DNA. So King Charles III is not the vehicle that can take Africa forward. Therefore, God has judged according to that with that reason. And therefore, this gives an opportunity for us as Zimbabweans to pivot to China. To understand, because for you who always watch me, I'm always saying that we need to build relationships with Britain and United States. Of course, we have to build a relationship with Britain, but it's not going to be the same. It was going to be something wonderful. The thing that God had in mind between Zimbabwe and Britain was so wonderful that British economy was going to benefit from the Zimbabwean economy and the rest of the region working together for a successful region and successful British economy. But it seems like these old white men, not the young ones. God shows me the young ones are fine, but the old ones are the ones who are a problem. They will never allow a Southern Africa that is free. For that reason, God is going to pass over the baton and give it and go and try the Chinese and the rest of the Asians to see if the Asians are willing to work together with Africa. If Xi Jinping also and the Asians really are not ready for a black government that joins the elite club of elite countries, well, God will do what God will gonna do. You will watch me saying what the Lord is telling me to say. So Xi Jinping and China, we just got lucky break because the Lord has opened the door for China to have a relationship with Harare and be obedient to the Spirit of the Lord. Even myself, I will be obedient to the Spirit of the living God so that we achieve success. The glory of God or the vision of the Lord is for these black people in Southern Africa to rise out of poverty. If China is going to help us to rise out of poverty, we're going to have strong partnership with China. If Japan does that, we're going to have strong partnership with Japan. If the United States does that, we're going to have relationships with them. But for already today, God is judging Britain. God is saying to me, no, son, the British Parliament and the British monarchy is not interested and is not ready in the kind of Zimbabwe that I'm sending you to build in Harare. Because for them, they like this thing of gold mafia, uh, all of this thing that illicit financial flows, money laundering. They like it when us with corruption. That's what they want to see. They want to see poverty in Zimbabwe, suffering, and then so that we can be cheap labor that they can abuse, and then gloat, how powerful they are, how white supremacist they are. That is the mindset of the British. Because of that, King Charles, God has judged you. Even though God had good intentions for you and to bless you, God says, perhaps when you are gone, perhaps your son, the younger one, who is not racist, the one who is not racist. I said, oh God, what are you saying, God? Maybe the Lord is saying things without saying them because he's saying the one that is not racist. Perhaps it is him who will actually rebuild the kingdom of the United Kingdom. Otherwise, with King Charles, this kingdom is going to be torn apart. His judgment, the Lord is judging even his thinking, the way he makes decisions. Besides the Zimbabwean issue, leave the Zimbabwean issue on the side. The Lord is taking me to the mind of King Charles, the way he makes decisions. You see, if you keep King Charles, listen this advice from the prophet of God. You see these old white men that are around you, fire them. They are giving you ill advice. I do not know what they're telling you, but I'm sensing it in my spirit that these are the people that will destroy your kingdom. Because their advice is not based on building the kingdom of the United Kingdom. They are based on emotions that are unnecessary. For example, punishing Zimbabwe. Why do you want to punish Zimbabwe? Because it's a black nation. Why? Why? Because they are black. So what? What does Britain lose? So so you need a son who likes black people, who has got an experience with black people, doesn't mind black people. Perhaps he's the one who must sit on the throne. and will be able to lead the British forward. Because in the future, God is rising Africa. Black people are going to rise in global politics and global dominance. So if King Charles surrounds himself with advisors that hate black people to the core, they will ill advise the king, and that will be terrible for the British kingdom and the British economy. That says the Spirit of the living God. That is a free advice I'm giving you, King Charles III, as a prophet of the Most High God. You see, God is benevolent and He's got love. When God fights you, He doesn't fight you because He hates you. He fights you because you're in the wrong place. If your heart is in the right place, God will bless you and amaze and lift you up high amazingly. But if you are stubborn and not listen to the word of the living God and not take advantage of the grace that God is giving you, you will miss the opportunity of seeing the grace of God. And you're going to see the opportunity that God had intended for you. You will see it next door. You will see God building Africa with the Chinese, with the Germans, with the Russians, and Britain losing out tremendously. You will look back and you will say that God had initially intended you to be part of the miracle, but you chose to listen to the ill advice of the old racist white men in the royal court. And that is the reason why God is judging the British monarchy and the British Empire. Holy is the Lord. Have a great evening. My name is Ngobani Zulu.